It's the Dace Man Show, featuring Gibby, Frank Ward, Cheever, Tits, Sir Nicholas Andrew, Frank Klein, Chris Bumpadre. This is Travis Goss welcoming you to the Dace-tacular Basement in Batesford, New Jersey with your host, Chris, the Dace Man Dace.
Frank Klein?
No, him. What's up, Dace-tacular Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Dace Man Show. I am your host, Chris, the Dace Man Dace, and joining me,
Gibby's beer.
Gibby's beer, because he had a kid, so fuck him. Off to Frank Ward.
Hey,
What did you
I'm not
kill
going to
him last
reproduce
week?
anytime
What
soon.
did
This
I
is
miss?
my introduction, bitch. Hi.
And the madness is back.
Hi.
Yeah, okay. And then Tits.
So what did you do to him last week as to why they think he's actually dead?
After almost every story, I was like, yeah, but you won't be here next week.
Gibby.
So Gibby proved you wrong.
Did he?
See,
You
look,
look-
he's so much calmer now.
I
that
made
he had a
it
kid.
back.
Cheever told us to connect Facebook chat.
I
Shut
did.
up, Cheever.
Oh, okay.
We don't like
You.
children.
Cheever, are you in a heist movie? Like, are we gonna see you on the news tonight? You just said we don't like children. Really?
Yeah, that's what I was letting digest. You just had one.
I know, I'm an idiot.
Yep. But for those of us that are single, Comic-Con was this weekend!
You're not single.
He might be.
And without a child.
I was gonna say that's
Kinda,
more
you gotta-
accurate. That's
Yeah, I got a half of one.
I'll pay attention to it.
That's fine.
Anyway, Comic-Con was this past weekend. All kinds of news, big stories that came out of it. The big one that irritated me was The Walking Dead. Andrew Lincoln and Lauren Cohen are leaving The Walking Dead after season 9. The two main characters of the fucking story. And somehow The Walking Dead is still going to be The Walking
so
Dead.
basically Gibby's right. The Walking Dead is dead.
Essentially. Unless you like Norman Reedus.
Can I poke it with a stick?
Maybe you can.
I watched Boondock Saints the other day.
So did I, because they put it on Netflix.
I just think that the irritating thing about the whole panel he did is he's like, the show is much more than Rick Grimes. That's false. The entire show is Rick Grimes. And I would have argued by last mid-season, the show is actually about Carl until they fucked up and killed him last season.
So maybe he meant to say the show wasn't about Rick Grimes, but the graphic novel, which the show
Well,
is based off of, is about Rick.
He said The Walking Dead.
Well, he's dumb as shit. Him and Coral.
You're just trying to say something to save it. Like, guys, it's gonna be okay.
He probably had to say that
that was my
because
voice.
he.
The only
please
way-
keep watching, because I like it. I need money. I need my pet unicorn.
He doesn't get anything if he's not on it.
I need my pet unicorn.
Anyway, the only way they could save that is if they don't actually kill him.
And then,
They've gotten to the point of the story
You,
where...
I remember you saying
Yeah,
this.
they've gotten to the point of the story where they can actually write these characters off,
but not kill
but
him.
not kill them.
Like,
Because
they just go off.
You said you want him to go off on his own, right?
well, they've expanded the community to the point where there's now 5 communities. You can have Rick and Maggie in the background, and then maybe Daryl, the character they're building around now, he goes off to find more, and you just follow him.
Yeah.
And then when Rick decides, I don't want to be a father anymore in London, he can come back to the show, and they can bring the story
Or
continues.
they could bring him in for an episode or two here and there.
Exactly.
Kind of like what they did with Nina Dobrev, because when she left Vampire Diaries, what they did was they basically put her in a sleep. But every so often, she played a couple characters on that show. It was really weird and really confusing. Every so often, though, the other characters popped up. She was only in an episode here and there, even though she had quit the show.
Yeah, essentially. So that's the only way. And then,
One of those.
because, like, the whole Walking Dead universe, and Comic-Con also showed the trailer for the part 2 of Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead. They killed the main fucking character of that. The end of Fear the Walking Dead. Madison, whatever the fuck her name was. Lead character.
Are you fearful?
The story started with them as the family following it. They're down to one family member left. And they
Fucking
killed...
Oregon Trail.
Right? One died from falling out of a helicopter.
Fucking Oregon Trail.
One got shot by a little girl, and then this one got eaten by a horde of zombies.
Snake bite. Same
But
thing.
she has been the lead of the entire show. And they killed her off as soon as they brought the guy from Walking Dead over.
Side note, I think Cheever needs us to swat his ass.
Wait, what?
I'm stuck
Is
in
that
work
like
in a
dad
tiny
talk?
room.
Swat?
Send the Navy
SWAT.
SEAL team.
Oh.
SWAT, like yeah.
Not like.
No.
Oh.
Whatever
I thought we were getting spanked.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's where we're going.
Gibby, I was gonna say, Gibby turned to a dad real fucking fast. If that was the
I
case.
assume too, yeah. You're in timeout,
I
mister.
already got yelled at a couple times.
For beating the
By
kid?
the baby or
I wanna.
your wife?
Well, shut up.
Don't say anything you might not want to show up in
Well,
court.
Gibby, children's ears are a little bit more sensitive, so that frequency that you can hit might be a little harsh for it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, otherwise
That escalated quickly.
you got to start every fucking show with like, I'm a character, I'm playing a character, and everything you see is from a character's point of view.
character, guys.
At least that's what
Character.
we need the public to believe.
We just put a
Anyway.
scroller at the bottom that says that?
Sure.
Disclaimer: this
Disclaimer
is
that
not
comes
much
up
of an
each
ass-
time. The
Just-
point of views of Gibby do not reflect the rest of us on the panel.
And he's not actually this much of an asshole.
The funny thing
Well,
is,
but
the
we can let people
child
believe
likes
that.
me more.
Doesn't know. It doesn't know.
I mean,
It's
comparison
fucking
still, though.
hilarious.
I mean,
Your wife doesn't watch this show, does she?
Ashley's a little upset.
It doesn't know. It doesn't know what it doesn't know.
it doesn't have good choices.
Well, that-
It'll hate both of you by 12.
There you go. That's.
Well,
yes.
that and their IQs are pretty similar, so.
Yeah. Birds.
Damn right.
Birds flock to the one that looks more
Birds
like a
of a
bird.
feather.
Other Comic-Con news: Star Wars Clone Wars is coming
I
back.
saw that. I thought you'd be happy about that.
Yes, interesting point that we brought up before the show. Season 6 of Clone Wars actually tied everything up because Cartoon Network was like, you're not going to be on our network anymore. And Disney went, well, we don't want to get your fucking show. Because of that,
What's next?
Star Wars Clone Wars is now back, but they're still following the Ahsoka and Anakin storyline.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. I
Where
really
are they
don't.
coming back from? Like, what are they going to be on?
We don't know. They're gonna be on the Disney streaming service.
Oh, so basically Disney said fuck you, and we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
But the story, timeline-wise,
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. There's a couple options. One option is you do it in between seasons. So, like, this is season 1.5. This is season 2.5, 3.5, because you have to go in between. Because they tied everything up is the problem.
There's always ways to rip a hole in something.
Or the other option is you then just do it based off of the spin-off. So you're basically spinning
Rebels.
off of it. And then you're gonna follow Ahsoka. You'll follow Darth Maul. You'll follow... Instead of following Anakin, you follow
Or
Obi-Wan or something.
they bring them back together.
You gotta...
Well, the teaser trailer
it's
did show
hard.
them coming back together.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're bringing them back together, and that's how they're going to play it.
But it's interesting to see where it fits in, or they just say, you know what, season 6 is the last season. We just gave it to you in the sixth. Kind of like Star Wars does that already.
Yeah.
So
Like, it's
So
kind
you
of
think
here's
they're
4, 5, and 6.
You
We'll
think
give you
they're-
1, 2, and 3 later.
You just say you think they're going to go backwards?
Well,
well,
Because if you watch season 6, they were also classified as the lost episodes or like the unfinished
Yeah.
business episodes or whatever the fuck
But
it was.
the problem is, though, is like, because it's Clone Wars, you really can't go
Too far back.
prior, because then it's not in the Clone Wars.
You can't go before Order 66
yeah.
because Order 66 was effectively the end of the Clone
But there's
Wars.
also
Well,
ways
that
to
was
just
in the
create-
movie, so
Yep.
you can't
Can't go
bring
past
that
that.
up. But what she's saying is a prequel to it, so
Yeah.
prior. But I don't think
You
can
can't
do
go
that either
before
because you
the
can't
second
do it,
movie.
because the second season is really the beginning of the Clone Wars.
Is there any way for them to tie something, like just completely start with a new storyline with it then?
Well,
That's the other option.
if you watch it chronologically the way they have it now, season 1 through
Works
5
so
kind of
well.
flows.
Yeah.
And then 6 was like, let's speed it up because we have
Six
to end
fucked
this.
it up. Six
But
fucked
what
it
I'm
up.
saying is like, okay,
Fucked it up, but helped it.
Yeah.
So they tied up all the loose ends.
Yeah,
Is
it
this
was
their?
getting
Do you
boring.
think they're just gonna create a completely new loose end, or then maybe they'll
They're
edit?
probably exploring more battles.
Or they could go about like the Days of Future Past route and like be like, hey, season 6 never happened.
No, I don't think
mean,
that.
unless maybe I didn't even think of this. Maybe they just do after season 5 and continue from there, and still have season 6 as like the ending of it.
I think so because season 6 tied up a lot of plot holes in the movie.
Yeah, because that kind of just solved that, but it was kind of. Well, I'd really like it to go more into Ahsoka.
Like, Season,
stuff like that.
if you watch just the movies, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, there's Order 66, and these clones all of a sudden just go, time to kill the Jedi, and they just turn around and start shooting everybody.
Correct.
Whereas the show in season 6 quickly dived in
Oh.
to tie that up.
Dumb question, because I haven't watched Rebels, so don't spoil too much for me. My only question is, do they explain why the clones are no longer the stormtroopers?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's all I need to know. Shut up. Next.
Dismissed.
Yeah, great conversationalist.
I really wish they would put it on Netflix or something. I don't understand.
It's gonna go on Disney streaming service.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.
Which will most likely be Hulu since Comcast dropped out.
You would help, or you would hope that it would be that.
Well, my thing, and
I think it'll be 2.
You think so? Well,
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't know. I think Disney might. What
More
Disney
money.
may do. Well, no, because think about it this way. Disney might be able to take over Hulu, jack up the price probably, because then they don't have to completely create a brand new streaming service.
But as a guy who's in a company that's still acting as different companies,
Yeah, they
I'm just-
fuck
There'll be
everything.
another.
you make
Yeah.
more money.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I'm saying the thought process wise, think about it. They have a streaming service already made.
Oh yeah, they might copy it.
Yeah.
They may do
Well,
that.
they're
Or,
literally
like,
copy
Instead of
paste,
but
green
I'm saying-
backgrounds, like orange.
If they-
It'll be Tinkerbell just
but
flying in the background.
if they take over Hulu, now they don't have to spend time developing and creating and doing all that.
You're right.
They can just
They will-
completely
they will
redo it.
Absolutely
paste.
use
Copy
Hulu's
paste.
resources, Hulu's template,
Yeah,
and create a new format.
yeah. But you have to pay for it separately.
Yeah, and then they'll cut server space because they'll think, it makes sense. We're saving, even though you're not. But other big news that came out of Comic-Con, DC, they brought it. They brought it for their TV that showed trailers for Flash, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow,
Wait, are they?
and
talking
Supergirl.
TV shows?
TV shows.
TV shows.
Okay,
And
now
then
what
a
about your favorite
fifth-
DC movie?
We'll get there. And the 5th was the annual tie-in they do with all their shows.
Okay.
Teased Batgirl.
Really?
Yep. So there's a rumor of a Batgirl TV show showing up in the middle of the year to, like, I guess, offset
So-
some other show. I
See,
don't know.
now, what I wish they would do, what I wish they would actually do, and I don't know if they're able to just because of contractual things, I wish they'd pick up Constantine.
He's
I
in it.
fucking love
He's
him.
in DC's Legends of Tomorrow. He was littered all over the trailer.
Yeah, good, because he was, I only saw that one episode of Arrow, and apparently he was great in the actual show,
So-
and I want to watch it one day, but I want him to
Question.
come back.
Isn't Batgirl trained by Batman?
Yes. She's also Barbara Gordon.
But
I don't know if she'll be Barbara Gordon in the show.
But
Wasn't there a couple different versions of
don't they
Batgirl?
need,
Yeah.
don't they need like a Batman?
He will exist.
Well,
I'm
well,
just
No, I get it.
No, because
Like,
aren't there versions
when
of
you
Batgirl
start
that
there,
weren't trained by
because
him?
like with him, then you go into Robin, you go into
I
then
don't-
you could go into
Well, they
all
don't
the other.
they don't
I
do the
don't-
big names.
I don't
Think
know.
about it.
Just have
I
Batfleck
don't know
show
if they're allowed.
Hey.
That's the thing.
They don't do they don't do the big things. They don't do Superman. They've done Supergirl and Krypton, which is a story about Superman's grandfather. They've done Gotham, which is everybody except for
Batman.
Like, essentially, Gotham's entering his last season this year. He'll be Batman probably the last episode.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yeah,
But-
and then cut.
What I'm saying-
Don't stop believing will play in the background.
I got over 20 episodes of that. Like I just cannot get back into
But
The
that.
season
what
was
I'm
good.
saying
It
is,
was-
aren't there versions of Batgirl where she introduced, like, she showed up? She wasn't trained by Batman. She just started showing up where he was and like started trying to do
Yeah,
about the same
and I have a
things.
feeling that'll be the way they.
That's what I was gonna say. Like there are versions of
Yeah.
Batgirl where she was kind of like her own thing. Like she just kind of trained herself, did everything the way Batman did it. Like she figured it all out.
There's also versions of Batgirl where Batman banged her. So
That is also very
depending
true.
who the writer is, that's the way they're
Yeah.
gonna
Because
go.
there was a couple
Yeah.
versions where she
We're
was
having
married to
another
Dick
Ray.
Grayson and he still banged her.
Yep. But the other thing that comes out of this Comic-Con with the whole DC TV shows and everything is the DC Universe streaming.
I saw that.
$7.99 a month or $74.99 for the year. You get anything Warner Brothers has of the DC.
So right there, I feel like the price point's incorrect.
Well, for the
I think $60 is the perfect price point.
but you also have to
annual-
remember
for
how
annual service
bad
subscription.
that most of their stuff is doing, other than their
You
cartoons.
take like Xboxes at
But-
60. There's a lot of things that have that 60 mark, and it's just.
But it's all less than the other streaming services. Because
Well,
Netflix
it's
is
gonna
like
offer
$9.99
less.
a month. This
no,
like,
it's not.
Only one original thing so far has been announced.
and that's
it's
Titans. Right?
Titans, which looks god-awful.
Absolutely.
They all murder. They don't fucking care. The first line of the trailer is "Fuck Batman" from Dick Grayson.
And I think that point is to try to like.
And Starfire looks garbage.
Oh, don't even get me started on
And it's not
Starfire.
even like
Is it a cartoon or?
it's
No,
a live
it's real
action.
people, and she looks like a $2 hooker.
Yeah.
I like $2
$2.
hookers.
No, but this is like the band. Like
okay,
this is
then
like
this is a $1 hooker.
This is like the
Is
D
it a
team.
Coke one?
This is like a Tuesday night
$1.
$1 hooker that you wouldn't want because she looks like
Okay.
she's a walking disease.
Yes.
I don't think she's worth that.
Would you
No.
buy that for $1?
No.
Then that's what it is.
It's worse. It's worse. It's so bad. And like
You have to compare it to Gibby language for him to understand
well,
what we're getting with.
here's what
Gotta
makes
break it
me
down
laugh
for him.
is everyone keeps saying that that's only one costume and it's part of like the mission they're doing that night. Then show something else and stop people from bitching because you haven't showed us anything and we're still trashing you.
Does Starfire start off as a prostitute?
Well, Raven looks just as bad too.
Yeah.
I don't like
But that's how it is, yo.
No,
Sex
but
sells. Sex
the-
sells.
no, it's not even that.
The good part of it is, and I don't know if this is good for Warner Brothers, the cyborg in the show
Where
looks
was
better
he
than the.
at in the trailer?
There's a very brief glimpse of him. It looks way better than what they did in the
I didn't
movie.
even see it. But okay, the one thing DC did do right, and I loved it, Shazam.
Oh
That
my God,
looks
yeah.
so fucking good.
So the other part of their announcements was the movie. So they did the trailer for
so
Aquaman,
good.
which didn't look that bad.
No, I do think it looks good. I think they're gonna.
Ashley's probably gonna see it just because of the
Jason
Well,
Momoa.
he is an
Yeah.
attractive man.
That's all I
don't
heard when we watched the
understand,
trailer.
but I don't get it.
He's
but
an
I-
attractive man.
Who went to Iowa for some reason. Who knew?
And then the what I think is going to be the breakaway star is Shazam.
It's gonna be. It looks so
Zachary
funny.
Levi.
Yeah.
Levi. He's.
Alright, I have a time. Is that
It's their
Deadpool?
Guardians.
Is it Deadpool?
No. So the premise behind it is he's a foster kid
I don't
who
need the premise.
basically gets these
I
powers.
just wanted to know if it was Deadpool.
It looks. I think it looks amazing.
I saw-
It's
the
probably
trailer,
it's probably a
but I
watered
thought-
down version
I thought it was.
Yeah.
because he's a kid.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's in a grown-up body, which
Yeah.
is sort of like Deadpool, but he always making fun of
It's
stuff.
probably like Big with Tom Hanks.
Does he like break the third wall? I guess.
No.
is
No,
not
because
doing
that's not how Shazam. From what I know, that's not how Shazam
He's
was.
probably
Deadpool
more.
does it all the time. It's hilarious.
He's probably more Guardians. It's
Yeah.
gonna probably be along that line.
All right, I was just curious.
My only takeaway from it is I'm upset that it's not Sinbad.
With the pirate and everything like that.
Oh my god!
Because of the whole
we have
Mandela
a
effect.
guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of people thought this movie already existed with Sinbad.
Well, I mean, he's not here yet. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's okay.
It'd be so much more fitting, I think.
It's true.
Hi!
Hi! So we have a
Chris!
guest in the studio. There he is! He's on the side. Camera's on the ladder because we have such a great production value
Right.
since you've left.
Great, great production value.
Sorry, I got caught behind a train. Also, I left at 8 o'clock.
Chris Pompadre, everybody!
We missed you.
So you're going to share mics with him since you're both dead.
Wait, I thought we had 5
Is that it?
mics set up.
We do? Well, the
Wait.
other mic's up in the ceiling.
You can stand off camera and just awkwardly talk.
I didn't know one heard.
No, but I do agree that Shazam is probably one of the best things DC announced. Honestly.
Yeah.
Should have been Sinbad. All right, bye, Bob.
Bye, Pompadre! Anyway, the other news, Marvel didn't have a big panel, like big presence this year because Thanos killed half their universe. But they did have 2 major announcements. One good, one not good. The one good announcement, Iron Fist, will be hitting Netflix September 7th.
That was
Why
not
is
good.
that good?
That's the good.
That's,
No, that's not.
I didn't mind Iron
Okay.
I'm afraid what the not good is.
Not good is Mr. James Gunn was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh.
because of bullshit!
Yeah! So we have a douchebag of the week this week, so you're gonna stop because I was
Douchebag or douchebags?
whatever. I want to see that vein pop from your head again.
No.
So we're gonna say that.
No, I unlocked a fucking monster on Twitter.
I know, which is why I want to see that vein pop.
I don't want to go through that again.
Woo! Twitter!
But the memes that have come out of it are great. So like they go, well, you know, James Gunn doesn't reflect our values, blah blah blah. So we've had to fire him, and then they show like all the racist shit Disney did in the past, or Robert Downey Jr.'s mugshots. So it's like, oh, we don't associate with that. But the Guardians of the Galaxy cast has come out, and all of them are just blasting
Didn't
Disney.
it like have like in all their cartoons have like all these sexual innuendos everywhere?
Mickey.
All the way up to probably 91,
Okay.
where there was a penis on the Little Mermaid. Fucking.
There was a lot. Well, that was more of they couldn't really control their writers and producers.
They
and
couldn't
animators.
control their director.
Well, yeah.
But
But
you don't know what you don't know. The only thing that irritated me about that entire situation
I
is
hope
he-
Guardians 3 or 4, whatever one they're up now, bombs
Three.
because
Well-
they lose the director. It'd be
Well,
great.
the only thing that irritates me is he deleted these tweets prior to Guardians 1, which makes you think he sat down with Disney. Disney went, you got to get rid of that shit if we're going to hire you. You got rid of the shit. He changed his values. He matched Disney's values. And they went, yeah, you know that mistake that was on archive.org or whatever that came back up because someone's butt hurt over Roseanne getting fucking canceled? You're fired now.
but I unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I see it from Disney's point of view. If they did it to Roseanne, they can't.
Roseanne did it while employed.
That was
I know.
just
And direct racism when
But-
that person looks like a monkey.
But
That's
you,
what she
well,
did.
did you see how she was trying to claim that she didn't know they were black? By the way, She apparently in a drunken video said she didn't know that
Yeah,
person
but
wasn't
still,
white.
she did it directly. This was tweets from 10 years ago.
Fun things to come
That
out
were
if we ever
jokes.
get famous.
Listen.
Oh, hold on. Shh. She wasn't wrong.
So, okay,
Use that later.
we had to fire Frank Ward because he did not agree with the values of the show.
Frank Ward, you're out.
But not yet. In like
How
10 years
many-
from now.
10 years.
Yeah.
Like, all you gotta do is just go
Good
down the
moment.
list.
You can do it. You will do it.
Is
But-
it actually worth it?
Okay, no, and here's my thing. I'm
That's
not
really the
saying it
question.
was worth it, and I think it was dumb, but unfortunately, I see where Disney came from with it. Don't get me wrong.
They
It
have
was dumb.
no standing ground on this. None whatsoever. They have hired several comedians in the past to voice other animated characters that have said worse jokes than him. And it was his style back then.
But the problem
They
is
knew
that
what they were hiring.
it's prevalent
Robin
right
Williams?
now.
It's
and
not
people-
prevalent right now. It was from 2010.
No, but the problems are prevalent
She's
right
like
now.
the
is what I'm saying.
goddamn people on Twitter.
No, I'm
Fire.
not saying it was good. I'm just saying I see why they did it. I think it's dumb, but I can see why they did
I
it.
think at this point, if you're
It's
gonna
all
hold people to that kind of
caffeine in it.
standard, that if they ever did anything mildly almost
You'll never be
offensive,
able to hire anyone.
yes.
No, I agree with you there.
You hired Jack McBrayer. He'll have to do everything. Anybody know who that is?
No.
Guy from 30 Rock. You know who he is? Okay, Wreck-It Ralph, but Ralph, not Ralph. Fix It Felix. Really?
The guy from 30 Rock.
The guy from 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Kenneth.
Well, so
I don't
all
watch
right,
30 Rock.
so the other things that happened with Comic-Con though, did you see the two other big trailers that came out?
Godzilla, King of Monsters.
That looked fantastic.
Where you have 11 teaming
really
up
going
with
around, right?
Uncle Owen from Star Wars
Yeah.
Uncle Owen.
to face like 40 monsters or some shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
It's like they went, we're not going to be able to make that many Godzilla movies, so let's put all the monsters in one.
And then the other one, I don't know if you saw the trailer for it, but did you see that Alita trailer? But so I don't know what it is. It's I think it's Steven Spielberg. It's like another action movie. She's like a cyborg, like all this other shit. It actually looks really decent. It's kind of creepy because she's a cyborg, so she's actually like a CGI. So like she almost looks like an animated character because it started as an anime, but everyone else looks like a human.
That's the shit that's getting a lot of that backlash.
Probably. Why is it getting backlash?
Because it looks terrible.
Well, see, a lot of people think it but it's an anime. That's probably why people think it looks terrible. They don't realize it's actually
You are
following the
unmuted.
anime.
You're unmuted now.
That's me, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's fine, no. That's fine.
Oh, and then the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the new one.
Yeah, well, that was already out there. So that's
No,
Comic-Con
well,
in
that
a
was the
nutshell.
second one.
Yeah, it's already out there. Comic-Con in a nutshell.
Woo, nuts.
So on that note,
Nuts.
Am I drinking?
Now it's your
Yes.
turn.
Ah, fuck.
yep, get ready, Dad.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Boy, it did. Boy, it did. So, I know Dave's turned it on for 30 seconds, but did anyone else turn it on ESPN2 and watch the Overwatch?
No, because none of us care.
Jizzard.
I hate you guys. I watched Philly beat out
Jizz on.
New York.
New York.
And they're
I
going
watched.
to the finals, baby.
I watched you jizzing your pants in the chat about it.
I did. I actually watched it. I actually was wondering why I was watching it, but it was actually kind of interesting. I liked it.
I want my parade.
Fuck all you bastards.
Jizzard.
It went all the way to the last
Wait,
match.
But
To the
Padre has
last
something to say. I'd like to
sperm.
hear it.
I watched like the first week of the season. I haven't watched it in like 3 months.
Damn. I still can't believe ESPN.
That's still more than the rest of us. You could probably talk to
Sucky
him.
giving.
Still can't believe ESPN is showing it. But apparently it's mainstream now.
There's no other sports going on
okay,
this time.
hold on. ESPN 2.
And
Yeah.
there's not more than 2 sports going on right now, so.
And
That's true.
the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris could feature competitive gaming tournaments to the global event for
I
the
just make
first
sound
time, making it an Olympic sport.
That would be
We're
dumb
putting
as
our bid
shit.
in. Team USA.
For what?
Cheerleading.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not even cheerleading, heckling. None
Well,
of us belong in a
throw birds.
skirt.
So they got rid of Greek Roman wrestling a couple years ago, which was a
Bullshit.
staple of the Olympics back when it first started.
And
We're
now
getting
they're gonna-
ready to put in gaming.
And now they're gonna put dudes sitting at a computer.
They're going to put WWE 2K18 in.
No, we don't got that then.
We got that little kid, though. We got a ringer.
We know a guy. Do they have to be 18 to compete? Is that going to be a stipulation?
You know,
That
most
should.
you know,
Yeah, that's a good
right?
question.
You know, most Olympians aren't 18, right?
Yeah.
most of them are. Yeah, well,
Most of them are
But
like
most
15 to
gamers that are
17.
good, most gamers that are good are like below 10.
Yeah.
Just look at the
Is there
sound
an
go
age limit
release and
somewhere?
shit.
well, you think about it, like 14 is usually 14 to 16.
Yeah.
Are usually the gymnastic.
Yeah,
with
I was gonna
females
say.
at least. I don't know
Yeah.
about the
A lot
guys.
of
Guys don't do that.
Olympians are anywhere between 16 to 21.
A lot of them are usually in high school.
Yeah,
That's a lot of swimmers are in high school except Phelps because he's fucking
Phelps.
a fish.
fish.
Pothead.
He's literally a fish.
Yeah, he's pothead.
He lost to the Shark last year. Remind you.
Yeah. Okay. So they should have put him in a real fucking tank with a shark, and then we'll see.
I agree.
He would have won. He would have been ahead.
A little bit more incentive. Like, come on. And then the shark would know it's in a race, so it would keep up. You gotta like prick his foot or something so it bleeds.
The IOC and the Global Association of International Sports Federation
This is
is
still the
hosting
Olympic
an esports forum at the Olympic Museum in
Are they gonna create a whole?
London.
London, Switzerland. I don't know the name of that.
Are they
city.
gonna create?
But that's called Switzerland. This weekend.
So are they gonna like create a different, like a whole Olympic game? Like, ooh, what about like just track and field game? You remember that on the Nintendo? Track and field.
Yes.
You sit there and
It
you
just
bump
looks like
hot
it's Suzanne with an L.
just like that.
It's a little weird.
It's Suzanne with an L.
The premise of the event was to begin a dialogue to build a joint understanding and set a platform for future engagement between esports gaming industry and the Olympic movement.
But because going back to what Dace even asked, that's a good. What game? Like, how would you qualify down to a single game? Or would they have to create their own game? That way they didn't have to pay the rights for it.
That's what I.
Well, right out of the get-go, it's going Overwatch.
Jizzard.
2024?
And it's probably because,
There's probably new
because of
games.
Blizzard, because
Something
they
else is
started
gonna
Overwatch.
happen, right?
Jizzard.
We'll be over
No.
Overwatch by 2024, right?
No.
Please.
Wally.
You do realize that most Blizzard
No, I
games,
don't.
when they go in, are usually between 10
No.
to 15 year
Jizzard.
cycles
I've been.
when it comes to competitive gaming. I don't understand how. There's like one of the few out there. Well, that and CSGO. I don't know how CS. Oh, and League. League's up there as well.
Because they're all knockoffs of Blizzard games.
But I understand what
Jizzard.
you're saying. There are certain games that go into it and then drop out immediately. But there are
Yeah.
several staples that do last for an extended period of time.
Okay.
Not many. I will give you that one. But
And then we'll
they
start-
do exist.
So we'll start with Overwatch, and then after that, all players that are playing Rocket League are gonna be like, "We want our Olympic games too!"
Well, the
And then that's
question,
that. And
well,
then
the question is,
where do you draw the line, Gibby?
E-Olympics.
I was literally just about to say that.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't. I could also
Every
see them
3
not
years.
actually going into the Olympics, but just creating their own.
I think you should do it every two.
In between. So it goes like summer, E3, winter, E3, summer,
E3.
Why
math.
not just do it at E3?
JizzCon. I don't know.
But
We
yeah,
can host it ourselves.
So they're starting to,
We don't have enough room in the basement.
It
Well, you
may
have a lot of
happen. I don't know.
How's the
We'll
Wi-Fi?
see what happens, but people are all about it.
Leave it to the fucking French to let some kind of game like that in. Pussies.
It's the International Olympic
Pussies!
that does it, not
The French.
French. It just happens to be hosted at France.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? They're gonna just turn around and run?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got to go back to calling them freedom fries again.
Oh God.
Freedom toast. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
legendary Pokemon Regice has now left Pokemon Go.
Aww. Where'd he go?
I only got 2. But a new legendary has taken its place, Registeel. The second of the 3 legendary titans,
Are you okay?
originally from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, has begun appearing around the world, and it will remain in the game until August 21st. This time they actually named an actual date, which is nice. The first time we didn't know when.
And the actual date hasn't passed already.
Yeah.
Like your usual stories.
Well, no.
Unless he meant July.
So I think,
No, it's August because Registeel is showing up in gyms right now.
Yeah, I gotta get him.
Go. What are you waiting for? Why are you here?
My gym mates have already.
There's also another
already done it
Pokemon Go
twice.
story you're
I'm a
missing right
little
now.
upset that I missed it twice.
I'm just saying there's another story you're missing right now.
Because you haven't been at work.
Yeah, exactly.
There was also a leak.
See? Don't have a kid. It ruins your Pokemon Go.
Experiment.
True.
Like Red Dice before, Red Steel boosts high defense stats, making it a formidable opponent, which sucks because it requires a shit ton of people to take him down. Then that means.
Is that what it says in the article?
No, it's just because it required
Word
about,
for word.
It required us about we could do it with 8 people if the right 8 people were there. But most of the time we need at least 10. Which sucks.
Would you like to name the ones that aren't the right 8?
The worst part is he can.
Yeah, I can.
Not you, Timmy. Get the fuck out. Your Pokemon suck. Go on.
You're number 9. Back to the bench.
We don't
But,
need your fucking Jigglypuff.
But if we ever actually got like everyone on at the same time, like we would destroy it in 2 seconds, because we can easily get like 20 plus people.
Yeah, Tim.
Maybe you should have showed up and you would have fucking had it.
Exactly.
Stop taking the fucking spot, Tim.
If you encounter in raid battles at gyms, players will be the first need to team up in person with other trainers to battle Registeel. Woohoo! I'll get mine eventually.
Good for you, Gibby.
When you get back to work?
Next week. Maybe.
He might go back tomorrow.
I might. You know, I was debating it. They were talking about it. I was like, I can make it!
I would.
Ooh.
Oh, one limb.
Oh.
Well, he's a kid now.
That
Damn!
thing has gone 6 more weeks of winter. Is that what it is?
Niantic has released another new update for Pokemon Go. The update.
Niantic.
Fuck up, Niantic.
It's different every week. Let it go.
The Noodles and Company.
The update is in the
Tic-tac-toe.
process of rolling out for both iOS and Android devices, along with a handful of bug fixes and performance improvements.
Yeah, a lot
And
more
this
bugs
is
popped up.
Another new feature
Buttons.
to the mobile Lucky Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What's the deal?
According to Niantic,
Niantic.
following the update.
Actually,
Some
can you be
Pokemon-
quiet? Because I'm sure
He
he can
was gonna
actually tell it
explain
better.
it.
Okay, go ahead.
Bumpudra.
Oh, I read this on the internet.
The internet.
If you trade a Pokemon, it has a chance of becoming lucky for the person you trade it to, and the longer you have it, is the better chance.
So what does the lucky do? Like, what's the big deal?
Hey. Bow chicka bow wow.
Incorrect. Half Stardust costs for powering up.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So these special Pokemon will be. Oh yeah, you're right. Pokemon will become lucky when traded to another player. These special
Turns into
monsters
Pharrell.
will be denoted by sparkling backgrounds.
Big hat Pikachu.
And make them particularly desirable
There's so
is
many
that
of
they
those
require
fuckers.
less Stardust to power up, meaning players can raise the Pokemon combat power much faster than normal.
Can you get double lucky? Or like once it's lucky, can you trade it to somebody and they get the
No.
lucky?
Because you can't trade a Pokemon once it's been traded.
Really?
Jerk.
Oh, you can't move it around like that? Yeah.
I have a
It's
question.
like, no, I love you now.
Did you
I'll
get the
keep you.
third story that was
I
going around?
Pass you around.
No.
Oh,
There
we
was
were
a
still
leak.
talking about the last one.
There was a leak about.
Leaks.
No, this
No,
was.
leaks are not fucking stories.
No, it was someone hacked leak.
No.
It was basically the rumors of Generation 4 being dropped soon.
Fake news.
I have
I
it
did
here.
that last week.
Either or old
Oh.
news.
Here, so
Repeated
that's your
news.
Of Gen 4?
Old news.
fault. Yeah.
Old news.
Jesus Christ. Old
I
news.
wasn't here. I was watching Lindsay Sterling.
Spyro!
You're what?
They can't hear you
Nostalgia
smile.
It's okay.
has been a strong pull for older franchises to become Spyro the Dragon included. We've seen Spyro Reignite Trilogy in action already, which contains the remakes of the first 3 games in the package. One of the biggest aspects that fans fell in love with is the unique soundtrack.
I don't remember it. By Darude.
And during a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, developer
What were they doing there?
Toys for Bob.
That's who has Spyro now.
Toys for Bob?
Christ,
Not
that's-
Activision anymore?
No, so it's still.
Gizzard.
So it was
I
they
get
they
there.
sold it to this guy. That's what.
too.
So that was the thing when they were announcing Spyro,
To Bob?
Bob or whoever it was sent a
Hey,
big
Bob.
ass purple egg to IGN, and that's how they were teasing Spyro. So they sent this big purple
Sounds
egg
like
with
vandalism.
No, they sent this big purple egg in a package. With
How
a
do they know it
note.
wasn't Ivan Ooze?
Huh.
Or a bomb.
I would have been fucking
I remember
impressed.
sending an ear to somebody.
I forget what the note said for sure.
Completely different.
I'm just
Anyways,
saying.
but it did say that the egg was from like Bob, and like then the tweets
thanks,
were
Bob.
coming from Toys from Bob, and it was tweets about like Spyro and all that. So that's the developer now for some reason. Oh, we're gonna.
You'd make a terrible witness. Like, blurting out all kinds of fucking information, cutting off ears and shit.
We put it in the mail.
Stop!
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Again, with the rolling disclaimer.
Something that would show up 10 years from now.
The views and opinions spoken by that bird do not reflect upon the rest of the show.
About something we did 10 years prior to this moment.
May or may not have actually happened, because he's a liar.
Anyway.
Liar.
During a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, Copeland, the original series composer and the drummer from The Police, is returning to the remastered soundtrack.
Yeah.
Sting?
Yeah. Well, the drummer, just the drummer.
Sting's friend?
Exactly.
Sting's drummer friend.
I'm sorry. Players will be able to switch between the remastered
Someone not as good as
soundtracks
Sting?
and the original version in the options menu.
Wait, so they made new music for it, and then...
Well, they remastered it.
Or if you want the old stuff, we got that.
You can do the old shit, but you can have the remastered shit if you want it.
Pass the remaster stuff. Just
Okay, I'm gonna
Chops can't
fully
do that.
admit I'm the person who turns the music off in video games.
Oh my god, kill her! Why?
Are you sure that's her?
Why?
Yeah, it is. Just get the shitty line.
What
Just in case it ever
fucking
breaks.
loser turns off the music inside a video game. That's like turning off the music in a movie.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Most of the time, it's just so repetitive it gets on my nerves.
Yeah, you're a bitch.
If you he wins. I had a logical
counter that.
response to
Yep,
that,
nope.
but he wins.
PUBG.
Aw.
Pass.
They're all out. Yay! Player Battlegrounds mobile new update added war mode and other achievement system. Exclusive skins and more to the game. The update. Wow, there's a major echo now and over here. To the mobile title this month after a first-person perspective mode was added in June. TikTok. Metal Gear Solid 5 update lets you play as Quiet. Woo! Girl with big boobs. Quiet is a sniper who loses to Venom Snake in a duel in Afghanistan. She becomes a prisoner at Mother Base until she proves she can be trusted to work with Diamond Dog personnel. She then is available as a companion character who can assist the player on missions. Quiet rarely speaks and carries 3 sniper rifles with her. The lethal Wicked Butterfly and Sinful Butterfly and non-lethal Guilty Butterfly, her most noticeable trait, thank you, is her considerable lack of clothing.
Figured I'd help you out.
What do you do?
Next story.
You didn't like Metal Gear Solid?
Why didn't you say you changed stories?
You did. I said you missed the snake option.
Nah.
Yeah, I literally just said Dace.
Metal Gear.
I don't listen to you.
I said Dace, you missed it. You just said Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Oh, well then.
Can you do me a favor?
Restart this story.
Just go to that part and say, start from the word loses to, and then just skip that other word, and then just say that fourth word.
Quiet in a sniper who loses to Snake.
Snake!
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it, and then I was gonna go with in a duel in Afghanistan.
No,
Alright,
no.
we
Well,
failed. We
it
failed as a
starts
team.
off with, like,
we failed
Snake.
as a team.
Snake? Snake!
Yeah.
You're an expert.
She barely wears clothing though. That's the only thing I actually
Slut.
noticed.
We would know.
What is happening in that picture?
That's an ad. I don't understand why.
It's an ad for people getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
What?
There's 2 women in the back seat like this.
Yeah.
Now we know what Gibby searches on the internet.
On my work computer.
Need someone to kidnap your wife and your girlfriend?
It
Call us.
seems like Amazon Twitch Prime members are constantly getting free gaming goodies from Twitch, whether it's a free bundle of PC games each month or a free in-game gear for titles like Fortnite and Call of Duty World War II. Twitch offers a lot of perks for Prime members. A brand new promotion just went live. 2 free Overwatch Wrecking Ball loot boxes.
Jizzard.
And can secure now between now and September 3rd. You play Overwatch, right?
Correct.
There you go. You got some loot boxes.
But I'm not Amazon Prime.
What?
They just murdered everyone's ears.
I think we need to kick him off the show.
No, we don't.
He
We
just
like
came
him.
back.
I agree. Kick him off.
Today, obviously, in your normal claim shit, blah, 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 blah,
It's
blah,
actually
blah.
hotter over here than it is in the rest of the basement.
Agreed.
Because I'm a hot
Well,
Because of Gibby.
There's also new
Thank you.
vents.
Well, that's logical.
in the window.
It's muggy as shit and
I was
thunderstorming.
gonna say, it's disgusting out right now.
That was a bad
Is
mistake.
that a new
It
window?
looks, it sort of looks like his face outside.
There's no curtain.
He also just never took the tags off, so it
Is that
looks
what it
new.
is?
Yeah, there's no. The next time we're down here, there'll be a nice new backdrop.
Hopefully.
It's on its way. It said chip
We
today.
got
Pending
2 weeks.
shipping.
We got 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, because you're not. Yeah.
Yep, I'm not here next week.
BioWare veteran James had been
Smith.
with yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is. Had been with the RPG studios since the beginning before leaving last month after 22 years. He's now given an excellent interview of sorts to Game Informer that covers a lot of ground and is absolutely well worth a read.
So does he trash them?
Company sucks. Don't buy their games.
One particular interest in this segment is an interview about Star Wars, The Old Republic, BioWare's ambitious and expansive Star Wars MMO. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's his name? What's his
Olin.
first name? I mean, I can't say that name.
Oh,
Nathan.
Len.
James.
Close.
Literally. Oh.
James
Len.
served as the game director, and he shared
Oh.
one of his regrets
Too
about the
simple.
project. He
Oh.
said he wished the game had more of its own sensibilities instead of following the genre-defining and enduring popular World of Warcraft path and formula so closely.
What game are we?
Jizzard.
What game are we talking about again?
Like, it was all
Star
done to
Wars?
that. World of Warcraft.
Jizzard. You don't get to say it.
Love
It ruins it.
We know.
Joke's dead. It's over.
Well, on another note, Blizzard did come out with the quest line
Jizzard.
for the new expansion.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
It's not on my what's it called.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because we talked about the whole how much would it cost to go into the game.
Well, we did talk about it, but that was.
Jizzard.
Not when you talk about the quest line. We talked about the talent traits. Were
Yeah. Nerd.
Do you still play Warcraft?
I quit mid-Legion because it sucks. All right? Bring back Chris Metzen,
Yeah.
fuckers.
Is that us? That's not us. That's us. No.
So he'll get back in tomorrow.
You almost put another hole in that wall.
That would be great.
Yeah, probably.
It's not a very
I
sturdy
only
wall,
got
is it?
2 more stories.
It's 8:42. You're saying we can't train wreck this in the next 15 minutes?
Or we can just make Dace do. No, we're fine. You don't need a segment. He's doing a douchebag of the week.
I'm not bringing it back up. I don't
Yes,
wanna
you
read it.
are.
Wait a minute. We got cheered.
Woo! Oh, that's what that noise was.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what was that noise?
It was Aaron. Hey.
Who is it?
Hi, Aaron.
What's up, dude?
I love you, Aaron.
What did he send?
I don't know.
It's like
Broken
TVs.
images. This is where we find out that
I
the
think they're
Gibadactyl's
TVs.
broken. What?
No, give it back.
No, they're broken
I thought there was
icons.
supposed to be a thing on the bottom that drops into the bucket.
did.
Oh, it did?
No,
Yeah,
those
but
look like
See, if you look
TVs.
real
the
close.
images are broken.
But the little the green things are in there, so the
I
tip
think,
jar works.
right,
But
I
the
think
chat
that's
doesn't work.
I think it's 12 cents.
Okay. Woo!
Nice.
First profit in 6 months.
Don't tell anybody that.
And or broken image.
Psych.
It was recently discovered that
Not.
it was recently discovered that Halo Infinity may not
Hi guys,
support.
it's Shamrocks. Okay, back to work now.
Fucking TV.
Is that
Looks like
really
TVs.
Shamrocks? That does
Oh.
not look
In the
like.
tip jar.
The
In-
tip jar
in
is
the jar.
Shamrocks, but is that what the emoji thing that you sent?
Told us to get back to work.
Oh,
Wait.
okay.
No. I think he
We're
was
back to
saying
work
he
or
has
he's
to
back
get
to
back to work now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can keep kicking Gibby.
Yeah,
it
it was.
wasn't working.
It was. It was.
Today,
broke him.
Junior.
Oh, you're Gibby, Skippy.
Needle pack on. Hang on.
It was recently discovered that Halo Infinity may not support Microsoft's nice Xbox Play Anywhere system, whereby you can play its Xbox and PC versions with a single purchase. The game page on Xbox.com didn't list Xbox Play Anywhere on the support features, leading some to believe that the sci-fi shooter wouldn't be included in the program.
So basically, they're
Not
gonna
nice.
say fuck you.
Well, it's
Like what you
probably
said.
one of their biggest moneymakers, so
Is that because you know what it is?
it's like literally, what the hell else is on there besides Forenza?
Nothing.
Thank you. I mean, that's
You're
literally.
an Xbox user.
I bought a PS4 a month or two ago.
Yeah,
Why aren't we friends on there? Are we friends on there yet?
I sent you a request. I don't think you got on your PS4 anymore.
To be
That's
fair,
true. That is very true.
when you sent me that friend request on Pokemon Go, I had no fucking clue who you were.
I'm not friends with him.
Well, nobody
might be.
likes
That's
you.
correct.
Like, I was literally like, who
Play
the
the game?
fuck is
God
this?
damn it.
Yeah, I just realized somebody got me that beer. I was like, shit, I didn't mark it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mark it for you.
Well, fuck you. You got me at the goddamn. Were you there for the game?
When there was only 2 beers left, and he got one, and Dylan got one, and I was like, hey, are you playing the game? And he had to finish the only beer that was available.
No.
And he goes, motherfucker! I'm like, you don't have to, and he still did it anyway. And I'm like, now I'm out of beer.
That's fucking
I
hilarious.
was upset because
Good
Atmos literally did it in less than like 1 batter.
In the
I
first
finished
game.
The fucking beer. I was like, God damn it, it's my only beer.
Actually, yelled at him too.
Well, you think
Yeah,
sooner or
she
later,
did. What a bitch.
sooner or later you'd remember the game. At some point, eventually, maybe.
I got so used to cans now that bottles fuck me so bad.
What do you even do with the cans?
I just spin
turn
the
the tap.
fucking tap.
Yeah.
You look
Okay.
at all my Monster Energy drinks. I don't even really drink anymore, and I
Yeah,
still do.
I
Yep, back
do
and
the
turn.
same fucking any can. The tabs turn, and I don't even. It's not even a fucking alcohol.
It's just
tap.
like, yeah.
It just turns, and I'm like, oh shit.
It's like
I
a
forgot.
habit.
Yeah. But I used to do it all the time with this because I used to take the cap off, which is the other thing. If somebody hands me a beer.
Oh, because you take the cap off and you scratch
And then
the
I
label.
scratch it,
Yeah.
Yeah, because like here I'll do it. I'm all okay because I do it on the
Yeah.
wall thing, and then immediately catch it, scratch, and drop it in the
So you're
bucket.
trained.
He's
I
a good
am
little
trained.
monkey.
But my problem is
He can be taught.
Yeah.
It's a treat.
Yeah. But the problem is when somebody hands
Gets
me
you,
a beer, I'm fucking.
So basically, when you're nice to him, he's
Actually,
fucked. So just
I
don't
bet
be nice
you-
to him.
I bet
No,
you.
there's a little bit of hope that
I'll
this
put
would
money
happen.
on it that even if you hand me a can and you just opened it for me, I probably wouldn't realize the tab wasn't turned.
There's no breaking that habit for everybody else, though. So you gotta get somebody who doesn't play the game.
I'm just saying. So.
Because I'll turn it and be like, fuck, I did tell
Yeah.
a kid, but
I
I
don't.
opened the soda this
I
weekend.
don't. I don't
Here
play.
you go, Timmy.
Yeah. It's a
So we
fucked
could
up
fuck
game.
with him because I don't play.
It's a fucked up game. Fucked up.
Why?
game.
Because you
It
lose?
is.
Yeah, I'm probably the one that loses the most. in this
Most
game.
likely.
Yes.
Once every outing.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Maybe twice. Twice on a good day.
I got called out with 3 times, twice on my fucking wedding night.
Damn.
Because the fucking bartender does it all.
That's all right. When we were at my mom's house, Mike's friend decided to ice him and his best friend while we were there. So we went.
Oh my
You've never been
God.
iced?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. But
So icing
that's
is almost like.
fucking
dumb.
That's the stupidest
It's
thing
still
ever.
funny as shit.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not.
yes, it is because they
No,
were.
it's not.
Icing is almost
General
like.
opinion's not going in your
Yeah.
face.
Icing is almost like the game. It basically,
No.
instead of yes, let me finish, dick, and you still have to chug. Basically, you have to hand someone a Smirnoff Ice, and they have to get down on one knee and chug the whole fucking
Who
thing.
drinks
No,
Smirnoff Ice?
no.
Nobody.
but
That's the
there's no-
point.
But
Where do you get it then?
You buy them just to fuck with people.
They just come around when
Look.
they're needed.
If it was like they did something wrong and you did it, I'm okay with it. But you just do it to fuck with them. That's not.
That's what the
I-
game is.
I thought the game was you actually hide it somewhere, and then if they
Well,
find
you
it, they gotta
can,
drink
but
it.
sometimes you can literally like. So what he
So it's like this,
How can the game? Yeah.
but it's
No.
with
So
beer.
one
A lot
time.
of them
How
just
can the game be
hand
you
it-
just hand it to him?
Yeah.
Here, drink this herder.
But that's-
and
but
then-
that's
Oh,
literally-
you got me, herder.
So what he did
Look,
was
look,
when
look,
he
der.
brought their 6-packs in,
Der.
he put a Smirnoff Ice and eat like a 6-pack. He from their 6-packs. They grabbed it and then they both had to fucking chug it.
I mean, I'd giggle like if you're at the doctor's and the doctor was delivering a baby and then pulled off a Smirnoff Ice and went, "Ah, I got you, bitch." That'd be funny.
Apparently,
That kind of game.
Sadly,
apparently he's been
sadly,
doing it to them for like
I would've
8 years
done it.
now.
I would you motherfucker.
I would plant them at people's work.
And then the trick is there's no baby to begin with. Ooh. Ah, you found it, bitch. Chug it.
Fuck you, Dave!
Woo!
Worth it.
I'm allergic to alcohol.
I don't
care, dude.
You play the game or you quit. That's all you do. Pussy.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, it's your segment still, so.
I'm sorry.
For 11 more minutes.
Yeah, we
Woo!
really.
I told you we would be able to derail it.
We're trying.
Next time anywhere is like blah 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 blah. Microsoft.
Don't
has
do
now-
it!
What? Microsoft has now issued a statement on the matter, though it does isn't clear on ending up and raises more questions.
Racist?
Halo
No,
Infinite
raises.
is in development for both the Xbox and Windows 10 PC. The studio has taken the time needed to make the best Halo game possible and are are we will. What the fuck kind of English is that? And are we will. That's not right, right?
You're correct.
Okay.
You got them. You got him. He got him. He got him.
He can be taught. He can read, guys. Hooked on phonics paid off.
We will share more information about the game, and once we're ready, So basically, right as it is right now.
So
Scroll up and find out
it's
who the
happening,
author is,
and once we're ready.
Yeah.
and then you become best friends with him because that is the guy that's got a right to you.
Eddie.
Meet Gibby.
You, Eddie. So
Ed and Gibby.
That'd be kind of interesting if Halo doesn't do it. Because I think a majority of the Microsoft games now are cross-platform.
You feeling yourself?
Yeah.
All right.
You mean between that and PC?
Well, like it's like
Yes.
which irritates the fuck out of me, by the way.
Why is he
Like
married?
grinds my gears.
Because in theory, because
Really chase my nutsack.
basically what they're saying is
No,
in
it's an
this
Ash's
matter,
curse.
if you buy like Minecraft on
Gibby got neutered.
Xbox, you also
Ashley
get it for
kept them.
PC.
Just in a jar she carries around.
So like,
Kind of like that jar of dirt that you use for.
Which is like, so what they're
Davy
saying
Jones,
here is if
that's
you
what
buy
he's
Halo
He can't go
on
past the balls.
if you buy Halo on the Xbox, you're not guaranteed the Halo on the PC, which I think is fucked up.
you realize what you just did?
What?
I said it's like that, and you went, yeah, exactly, and then you kept talking. You didn't even let me get my example out.
It doesn't matter. Shut up. Shut up. Damn it.
Happens when you touch the mic.
I'm really.
Show's falling apart.
I really
Just
wish
now?
they would allow me to play Minecraft on the PC. I really want to buy the game again. Is my problem. I got on the PlayStation. Why do I need to buy it again?
Well, see,
Greedy bastards.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Is it free to play?
Mm-mm.
Not on the PC?
Isn't it like $8 now?
They raised it. I think it's like almost $40.
I bought that?
That's ridiculous.
No, when we bought it, I think it was only like 20.
yeah,
Like it
I fucking bought that?
it
Yeah.
keeps raising in
it was a
fucking
while.
price.
It was like 4 years ago, though.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
What the fuck? Why did I buy that?
And then you buy all this.
Wait,
did
you
I
can't
buy
even
that?
get
I have
mad.
no
That's
idea. I'm
how
gonna
we
blame
have all of our followers.
Ralph?
Yeah, but I don't know
Ralph?
why I bought that though.
Was it
'Cause
Dan?
Did we play it
Blame
before
Dan.
the Game-a-thon?
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
might
we-
have.
we
No, no,
did.
no, no,
Sure, it wasn't
no, no,
free
no.
to play,
No,
and
no,
then
no.
you had to buy
You might
skins.
have bought it at the Game-a-thon for them to play while we were playing.
This game
But why
is-
would we have
this
played
game
it, though?
is Never free. to
Because
play.
I think Junior
that's
and
all you
John
play.
were asking for it.
This game is never.
It had to be dirt cheap. Because I don't like kids.
Again, I think it went on sale for $20 when we bought it.
I mean, it's gone down to
Like,
20 and
normally
25 for Xbox, so
think
I
it's
wouldn't
like
see why
normally
not.
Like $30, so now I think
I don't know.
now it's like 40. It's crazy how they keep raising the price.
I don't know.
Well, shit.
But yeah.
Shit.
I bought that.
Sorry. Jesus fucking Christ.
Still don't like it.
Smash
No,
Brothers.
it's disgusting.
Mario!
It's a sour.
Following a
Or-
tantalizing brief teaser trailer back in March, Nintendo formally
Mars?
unveiled
March.
unveiled
Interplanetary.
its next
Damn.
Super Smash Brothers games at E3 2018. The newest element in the beloved fighting series arrives on Nintendo Switch later this year.
Is that story current?
Yeah, why? I already lost my place. God damn it! I looked away. I'm an idiot.
Go.
You're not here
You
anymore.
even look at me.
We're gonna go down to the next paragraph. Fuck it. To catch up on everything Nintendo has revealed about the
Closing
game so
statements.
far. we
You're at the end of the
provide
article!
everything we know about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from
This is like a 10-page document.
You got 6 minutes.
It's not that bad. It's not
Read-
that bad.
It's every story they've released.
Read it all.
Yeah, but it's nice.
You
It's
got
nice
time.
to know. It's nice to know.
So we've probably
We
talked
wouldn't
about
know. You didn't read it.
it. Or we've already talked about
Frank,
it.
your corner then.
What?
Apparently
Well,
I'm getting booted
no,
off.
no.
No.
Man, I'm getting booted off.
We have hit that grace
got
period
time.
of trying to plug because you don't let us get anything out. So
Fuck you.
Makes
anyway, all right, we'll call it quits because we actually started on time. Gibby, what do you got going on? Father?
Please email me at thedacemanShow@gmail.com. No one
Because he doesn't have a
has,
kid to take
except
care of.
for him spending money on shit, dance that he's not supposed
You know,
to.
if you log onto there, it says I have like 300 days available.
You still didn't get rid of it?
I keep sending him
I
pictures.
don't play the PlayStation, so I
I-
don't think twice about canceling something.
So how many months have you paid for it that you didn't need it?
I don't know, but I'm tired of getting emails.
5?
I'm literally tired of getting emails.
Then go in and cancel it for him.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have his Xbox.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure if you text
my
him and said,
password
Dace,
is
what's
probably
your
guessable.
password? He would give it to you.
It's pretty guessable.
I'm pretty sure I could guess it right now
Dace.
on air. No.
Don't do that.
Because
That's
it's
my
one
life.
of like 3 options.
Yeah.
1,000 options.
No.
13
No.
billion options.
Thank you. Frank, what do you got going on?
Follow me on Twitter at the Dace Man Show, where you're getting a tweet right now.
Yay!
Tits.
I hate you all.
Chris Pompadre.
How's it going? Check us out in Musically Challenged Season 2, coming soon.
I didn't know that was
Good news is, nobody knew that was confirmed until right now.
If he called it,
It's
he's the
happening.
producer.
It's happening.
We have proof it's gonna happen. It's recorded. It's on the internet. It's true.
I've got the musical
Obviously.
tracks in the background. So.
Only the internet tells truths.
All right.
Who likes orange soda?
Shut up.
Follow us on Instagram at The Dace Man Show. Follow me on Twitter at The Dace Man. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dace Man Show. Follow all these other people who don't show up, but they're on our Twitter feed anyway, so check them out. Anyway, you can go give us a heart over on twitch.tv/Dace Man Friends, or subscribe to something that happens only once a week.
Stop.
Why? You're gonna have an aneurysm.
You're blowing through this too fast.
Way too quick.
Woo! Yeah.
Like you're gonna have an aneurysm.
Let's start again.
Oh God, no.
Chickens!
Like us on Instagram at The Dace Man Show. Follow me on Twitter at The Dace Man. Follow all these people that are above us that have been going. Right now, there's Nick. It's over.
We're not
There.
entirely sure if Nick knows how to
This
use
is
Twitter.
Tits.
Ew.
Don't follow that. Don't.
She talks
don't.
about Demi Lovato.
I went
and
out one
her
time.
drug habits.
Just reporter.
Cheever. This is how we stall for time.
We're pretty sure the Cheever doesn't even use his Twitter.
No, actually, nobody does.
I
No
actually
one
have
does.
been.
I did once
Yeah,
and
'cause of
regretted it.
Demi.
No, other shit.
I did once and regretted
That's
it.
what you get for putting your opinions on Twitter.
How-
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Dace Man Show. Give us a heart here on twitch.tv/Dace Man and Friends, or subscribe. Eventually, we'll start streaming again. Also, this Saturday, Adventureland store in the Voorhees Town Center. We'll be having not one, not two,
Oh God.
but 3 WWE Superstar experiences. At 11 a.m., you can catch Carmella, because Mella is money, the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Champion, as she signs autographs from 11 to 2. After her, the Good Brothers, not a couple of nerds, will be there from 12:30 to 2, signing autographs in their WWE experience at
What do you have
Adventureland.
against nerds?
Shut up.
That's their gimmick. At Adventureland store in Voorhees Town Center, which may or may not be their last appearance there at the Voorhees Town Center.
It's
Why
supposed
do
to
they
be condemned.
play World of Warcraft so much then?
No, there's a third one you didn't say yet.
Well, the Good Brothers are 2 people.
Oh, okay.
Luke,
Prove it.
I can't. But I'll be there, and we'll have WWE 2K18. You can watch this amazing kid who kicks my ass every single outing, as well as talk wrestling with a bunch of other people, because you're going to be waiting in line for Mella, and you're going to be waiting in line for the club. So why not hang out with us at the Voorhees Town Center one last time?
Boo! Yay!
Also, stay tuned for future announcements. Obviously, things are coming. This is usually our busy time of the year. where we start
Apparently,
doing
we had a
things.
big one tonight.
Pompadre. What's up?
Chris Pompadre, everybody. Anyway, that's pretty much the show in a nutshell.
Yeah.
A nut in a shell.
Yep.
Perfect. 1 minute to figure out where the theme song is to exit this.
Yep.
Probably take that long.
Yep.
You think you would have this ready?
I should get rid of the stuff we don't use.
Well, that too.
Then we'll need it though. Like you'll get rid of some, and then
give me-
somehow we'll go back to like weird news.
How likely are you to recommend Windows 10 to a friend or colleague?
For the few. For the proud. And for the Dace-tacular. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next week will be an on-the-road show, meaning Gibby's hosting, baby's crying in the background, and may or may not have Dace. So, as always, we will see you next Tuesday.